family. Welcome once again to the Point Extra Lounge, and Happy New Year! It is good to see you guys. This is our first video of 2020. That's right.
2020.
Welcome to 2020. If you haven't heard that joke by now, something's
wrong with you. If you're too young, you wouldn't get that joke, so it's okay.
Anyways, today is a special day, and we are glad to have you with us. If this is your first time here at the Point Extra Lounge, just know this. The Point Extra Lounge is
a place for nerds.
That's right. It's a place where you and me and my crew can all get together and talk about the things that we love, be it TV shows, games, movies, sci-fi, fantasy, Star Wars, superheroes, and so much more. And so if that sounds like something that you guys would like to be a part of, please consider hitting that subscribe button and also that notifications bell so that you know when we put out new videos, because that is
all the time.
That's right. Now, hey, we got lots more to talk to you about that kind of stuff. But before we do that, we're going to talk about what we're actually here to talk about today. And that is this awesome news that came out from KS Transmissions about Star Wars. Now, of course, we love Star Wars. Love it so much. Wearing a t-shirt. Thank you, Marquez. Shout out to Marquez for the hashtag I Love Star Wars shirt. If you'd like a hashtag I Love Star Wars shirt, you can find it in our...
Mine is a trendy girly one. It is a sweatshirt with gold trim, and I have little sides.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and we have hashtag I Love Star Wars.
We do.
I have spoken t-shirts. We can talk about those later.
It is the way.
It is the way. But here's the thing. We love Star Wars, and one of the aspects of Star Wars that I really loved was Star Wars Rebels.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite Disney cartoon shows.
And you know, the good news is it came out today that they are working on basically a sequel to Star Wars Rebels. We don't have a title yet. We don't know what it's going to be, but apparently that will focus on Ahsoka Tano and Sabine Wren.
Nice.
Looking for Ezra.
Girl power.
Yes, looking for Ezra, probably out in the outer regions. In the Outer Rim, and of course that also brings up the idea that we could get Thrawn back.
Heck yeah, because that's who he was with when last we saw him.
Last we saw Ezra, he was hitting light speed with the space whales, and heading out to parts unknown with Grand Admiral.
Speaking Orca-ish.
Yes, with Grand Admiral Thrawn. And so that is an exciting thing because we've all wanted to see that. Apparently this is a response to the fact that Star Wars Resistance wasn't really met with a lot of enthusiasm. And I'll be honest with you, everybody knows that I love Star Wars. And look, Rebels started out a little slow for me, but I'll tell you what, Rebels kicked in.
It's tasty.
And I had to watch it every week. I was riveted. I love some of the stuff that they did in Rebels regarding the Force and how it works. And oh my gosh. And even when it would slow down and you'd get like these long periods of time, like what the heck are they doing? It would come back and pay off.
And you'd be like, oh, I see what they did there.
Oh my gosh, in such a cool way.
Darksaber. What?
Yeah, and it ended so well. And I'll be honest with you, even though Clone Wars had a lot of really important things in it, I liked Rebels actually more than Clone Wars.
Yeah, me too.
And I thought that overall, I felt that there was a lot more like really good content in Rebels. It was more consistent because anybody that you talk to about Clone Wars will basically tell you, hey, you know, you really don't have to watch season 1. You know, if you really don't want to right away, you don't really have to watch.
No, Rebels, you have to watch all of them to understand and love it.
You know, Darth Vader's in there. There's all kinds of just really cool.
Rebels too.
Oh my goodness, great Star Wars lore. It expands it. Even when they started talking about, and this is a spoiler for Rebels. If you haven't seen it, you probably want to skip about 30 seconds. And I'll give you that chance to do that right now in 3, 2, 1. Okay. But when they introduced time travel, and I knew that was coming, and I was like, oh man, don't introduce time travel into Star Wars. You're going to ruin it. That's going to be awful. But the way they did it...
It was exciting, and I understood it, and it made sense going forward with anything else they brought back.
Yeah, and it still continued with the lore and how that would work, and it was just really cool.
Oh, that makes sense. What about this? And it gave us more questions, but like it was still exciting.
Yeah. So the thing is the way it ended was, like we said, Ezra flying out into the outer regions at light speed.
And Kanan also being a sacrifice.
Yep, Kanan sacrificing himself, and we got to see though Hera with her son.
Yep.
And who was obviously...
A little romance going on, though, too, which made the sacrifice even more hurtful.
And, of course, we got this whole epilogue that talked about Ahsoka and...
Vader in the temple, though, too.
Yeah, but it talked about Ahsoka and Sabine Wren working together, trying to find Ezra post Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Which was one of the cool things about that, which was that it was after Return of the Jedi. So, with this news coming out today, that they're working on this, what I thought was really interesting about this is, and this is one of those things that you may want to take with a grain of salt about it, because it's speculated that it could possibly still come out this year. Now, so my question is, were they already working on this? Now, I assumed that they were already figuring that they were going to do something like this.
Because they're like, hey, Rise of Skywalker is going to be done. Rebels is done. Resistance didn't go so well. We got to do something that works.
I know animation takes a whole lot longer.
But if they've been trying...
But I just feel like that they've known that they're going to do this. This is not. I don't think that this is something that they're just like
Disney doesn't just be like, oh, by the way, I thought of this. No, it's like, hey, we've been working on this. You don't know how long it's been, but we're gonna,
exactly
just throw that out there.
Exactly. So this is exciting news. The possibility that it could still come out this year in 2020, and that we could get a continuation of that. I think it's something that fans would want to see. I think it's something that we want to see.
Give us more Star Wars.
And I'm excited about this. Tiffany, your thoughts? Would you look forward to something?
Oh,
like
yes, because same thing. I didn't even try to get into Resistance yet, so we have it still saved on our DVR. I just haven't had the time or the gumption to want to just turn it on and see if it's something that I like, because I've found other things. We ended up watching, Swamp Thing and all these other different shows that we kind of binged, and it's almost like, yeah, I know it's there. But it's also one of those things that I loved Rebels, and Sabine was one of my favorite characters. I've gone as her for Comic-Con. I actually have a shirt of hers. I have her helmet. I have her toy, Barbie looking thing. So it's one thing that I have loved. I loved Kanan. I loved everyone in that, that world. And so to take, Ahsoka, who kicked butt in the last season, still, expounding on that universe and bringing things and making them canon, to take the two kick butt girls that I loved in that and make that be like, okay, now we're going to go find Ezra and we're going to find out some answers that were left unanswered at the end of Rebels is just exciting to me. And the fact that it can happen this year is even more exciting.
Well, I think it's cool too, because right now, obviously, we're in the middle of Mandalorian fever.
Exactly.
And Mandalorian
and that adds a little to it.
Mandalorian takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and so with the idea that Sabine Wren is a Mandalorian, what better
tie
thing?
Them together.
What better thing to put when knowing that this is post Return of the Jedi, knowing that she's a Mandalorian, that she once possessed the Darksaber.
Yep.
It all works together really, really well.
Yeah, and the fact that how they ended the Mandalorian, it's like, dude, tie it together, do something.
Man, so now Landon, I know that you didn't really watch Rebels a lot.
I watched the first 3 seasons. I didn't watch the 4th season.
You didn't watch the 4th season. So
I
fourth season was awesome.
I watched the 4th season, but I didn't watch. I think the only episodes that I really watched was the last episode.
Okay.
I just want to see how it ended.
Yeah.
But not in its entirety.
Yeah. But you've seen the last episode, and you saw where it kind of went with Grand Admiral Thrawn and all those things. What do you think about this news?
I feel like it would be interesting to see, how they would do that and how long that series could go for. Mm-hmm. Because, they acted like they weren't going to do any more of Rebels, so we thought this is just it. Ezra's just out in the middle of nowhere.
Plus, they were showing her working with her family, Sabine, and all that stuff.
Yep.
And
so I don't really know what they would do, after they found Ezra.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much they could have done.
Depends upon what's going on out there. I mean, because remember, by the time we get to the Rise of Skywalker, right?
And we did see the ghost.
Yeah. Well, and so by the time we get to the Rise of Skywalker, Palpatine was out in the Outer Rim, in those outer territories. So did Ezra encounter anything strange out there? What is that story? What is going on with it?
2 words. Space shenanigans. That's what this show is going to be about.
Nice.
Didn't Ezra have one of the holocrons?
There was, over the course of time, there were holocrons. There were just, at one point he did have a Sith holocron. So
because that's what he was fighting with Kanan over.
Yep, and the Emperor did appear to him, and
then Yoda force projected himself. Something that didn't happen in The Last Jedi. We never saw that before. Guess what? Yoda did it in Rebels. Watch the show.
Yeah,
Sorry.
A lot of great stuff. A lot of great stuff in Rebels for sure. And so
Still a little sore about that. Sorry.
I know.
Too soon.
It's all good. It's all good. We know what we love around here. So, but the thing is that this is great news. I'm looking forward to this. I'm excited about this. The question is, are you guys excited about this? Is this something that you guys are looking forward to? You can't wait to see that, Landon, he's going to fall asleep before it even comes on. But you know what? It's all right.
For you, though, and you always say, hey...
It wouldn't be an episode without Landon yawning.
You always say, oh, you as a girl and, this and that. As a guy and a Star Wars lover, how do you feel with this being female-led? I mean, I know you like Birds of Prey and all these, women-led things, but... How do you feel about it being more Sabine and Ahsoka being women and, powerful women kind of thing, being the main leads versus, last in Rebels, it was Kanan and it was Ezra and it was even Zeb being, a male type figure. Yeah. How do you feel about it being female led?
Well,
Ahsoka and Sabine.
Well, I know
they're going to bring other characters and other, side characters and stuff, but it's going to be them as the lead.
You know what? I am absolutely fine with it. I've gone.
It'd be cool to see Hera come in once in a while, something like with just bringing little things from Rebels in there.
Well, because even Hera was kind of working with him off the side. It showed that she was communicating with him. So why not?
Leading the girls, doing all that.
And the thing is I think that those are great characters. I think those are great characters. Yeah. And I know right now it's really easy. Look, I get it.
I'm not saying it as girl power.
No,
I'm saying it as female
I know,
led.
and that's the real thing. That's the real thing that this comes down to, is because I think a lot of people have complained a lot about Rey and everything, and obviously I've never complained about Rey in that. I've never thought that she was what people claim she is. That she's a Mary Sue and she's all these different things. I just don't feel that way, and I am not all about identity politics and all those things. I don't subscribe to any of that stuff, but I think the thing is once somebody says something is some way, it's really easy for people to jump on a bandwagon on it if they just didn't like it. So it's easy to say, well, yeah, I see that now too, and then they all jump on it, and then all of a sudden everybody's just saying the same thing, but nobody really. It's like the game of telephone, right? Somebody ends up saying something, and you get something interjected, and all of a sudden that's all people hear, that's all they see, and they're literally. I've heard people just turning over rocks, finding what they thought was some kind of agenda or something like that. Now look, there's agenda-driven stuff out there. Watch Supergirl. Supergirl is full of agenda, and I can't even watch that anymore. And I'm a Superman fan. The kid's middle name is Jor-El. What can I do, right? And I just can't even watch the show anymore for it. But also, when there's just a good female character.
You got the two most kick-butted characters that are female in the show that are leading it.
I like that idea. Because also, I want to see what happens to them.
I know. Do you think that they're going to continue that, what they did with Sabine changing her hair every season? I think
it's probably part of her personality
at
this point.
I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think it's probably part of her personality at this point.
She needs to do one with blonde with color, another color undertone, so I can actually do that to my hair for Comic-Con. I'm just throwing that out there.
But hey, guys, I know that's a lot of stuff to digest. I know it's probably some controversial stuff out there.
But you also have enough time to watch Rebels if you haven't to catch up.
There you go. But what do you guys think? Especially some of you who do not like the Rey character in the sequels now. Are you okay with seeing these two females basically lead this show? If that's the way it turns out, that they're leading the show, are you guys okay with that?
But they're like the Rambo chicks of Jedi.
There you go. Are you guys happy with that? Or would you guys rather see somebody else? What would you like to see in this series?
If they wanted to see someone else, then they watch Rebels, which has Kanan and Ezra as the lead.
There you go. So let us know what you guys think down in the comment section. Also, you can follow us on social media. All those links are down in the description below. Also, like we said, we have t-shirts and mugs and phone cases.
We have merch and a Patreon.
Kinds of stuff with our logos and hashtag I love
all
Star Wars.
All different kinds of ways that you can give or buy or help and support.
Plus, also follow our Patreon. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. We love you guys. You guys are awesome. We thank you guys so very much. And of course,
for the kind support, right?
Yes, for the very kind support. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being supporters of the channel. And you guys can do that. Those links are also down in the description below, where you can be a part of our Patreon. We love you guys so much. Happy New Year! Yes. May the Force be with you. And I can't wait for more.
Instead of Baby New Year, we should have the little Baby Yoda with
There you go. I can't wait for more Star Wars. All right, guys. So until next time, my name is Enosh, a.k.a. Enosh Fett, along with the lovely
Tiftastic.
And, of course,
Landon Calrissian.
saying we'll see ya out in the Outer Rim with a bunch of space whales. Until next time, bye-bye. Hey guys, if you made it this far in the video, you are awesome. Thank you guys so much for your support. Please smash that like button and of course subscribe, and also hit that notifications bell so that you are aware when we put out new videos, which is like all the time. Thanks for being a part of the Poindexter Lounge, and we'll see you next time.